The pandemic and mental health. Tonight, we exclusively learn that for the first time, the number of Baker Act exams in Florida decreased last year, with the biggest drop in kids. What these numbers mean and why some say the pandemic cannot explain all of it. For the first time, the number of Baker Act exams is down in Florida. That's according to USF's Center for Baker Act Reporting, which tracks the number of involuntary mental health exams done under the state's Baker Act law. The center exclusively revealing to us early numbers which show last fiscal year the statewide total of involuntary psychiatric exams decreased by nearly 4% from the year prior. The largest drop, kids under 18, which has historically been trending up in Baker Act exams, and younger, with kids as young as 5 years old committed under the state Baker Act law. According to the latest data, between 2019 and 2020, Florida logged nearly 36,000 Baker Act exams for kids, a decrease of more than 5% from the previous year.
We need to reduce that number by much more.
But during a year dominated by shutdowns, school closures, and distance learning, Sam Boyd, senior attorney with the Southern Poverty Law Center, believes the Baker Act drop is more reflective of the pandemic than any fundamental change in how Baker Acts are used here.
We don't see any other policy changes that could explain it other than the fact that folks are staying home because of the pandemic.
In March, the advocacy group released this report criticizing the state for overusing, even abusing the Baker Act, pointing blame at school districts, including Palm Beach County. But more state funding focused on improving mental health on campus has some school districts seen major drops in Baker Acted students. They say the pandemic cannot fully explain.
The Baker Act isn't a punishment.
In Orange County, in the last 3 years, the number of students Baker Acted in the district has dropped from 542 to 104 this year.
Do you think that the pandemic also played a role in the numbers?
Sure, I think that that would definitely have some impact on the numbers early in the fall when so many kids were doing distance learning.
But for the past few years, the district, like many, has made mental health a focus, using state funding from the Marjory Stoneman Douglas Act to pump up its mental health staff on campus. By fall, each school in the district will have a school counselor and social worker to help kids in crisis.
It gives us more resources to do that without resorting all the way to the Baker Act.
After a year consumed by a global health crisis, it's too early to tell if the recent drop in Baker Acts in Florida is sustainable or just another anomaly during a year full of them.
I don't think it shows that we have turned the page or made any fundamental changes that are sufficient to start reducing the inappropriate use of involuntary psychiatric examination on children or adults for that matter.
And this session, lawmakers also got in on the Baker Act issue, passing a number of reforms that aim to get parents more involved in the process and hold school districts more accountable when students are Baker Acted from campus. Katie LaGrone, Florida 24 Network.